Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from prettypapercards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm here with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie, and we are here to make cards with you today. I'm so excited to be here. I have a really special project for you, and it's Friday. What a great day to be together. Let me confirm that we're live here. I'd like to just check. Okay, it says that we are. Okay, we're looking good. Great. So welcome, Tina. Good to see you. Thank you for popping on this Friday late afternoon, evening for some of you. I really appreciate it. Linda, good to see you. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Don't we love Fridays? Very great days. Tina, hot and humid in North Carolina. Yeah, it's dry here. It's warm and dry here. Linda, stormy Pennsylvania. Let me see. Marcia Long, good to see you. Good to see you, Marcia. Stormy, humid, all of that kind of stuff. We're dry here. Colleen, good to see you. What are you guys doing over the weekend? I always wonder what other people do on the weekend. We are going tomorrow. I think I've told you about my husband's mother. She's the only one of our parents still living, and she is, I'm trying to remember, I think it's 96. She's done very, very well. And she lives about 45 minutes away. So we're going to be going to visit her. We visit her about once a month, once every 6 weeks. And we're going to go take her out to eat. Thunderstorm watch in Texas, Marcia. Oh boy, be careful, girl. So, right, we are very close to Mexico. And everybody here loves Mexican food. And so there's a nice Mexican restaurant pretty close to her house that we all love. So we're gonna go down there and take her out to dinner and check up on her, see how she's doing. So that's the main thing that we're doing this weekend. I'm finishing my different product shares. I don't know if you can see over here behind me. I've got the ribbon shares ready to go. The paper shares are all cut. Tina hates the humidity. Yeah, it's bad on the hair, isn't it? So the paper shares are all cut, and all I have to do is package them up. Roz, good to see you. Good to see you. And Karen from Ashland, Oregon. So I'm going to be finishing up the product shares this weekend. They're so close to being done, so close. So that's what I'm doing, and Ellie keeps me company in here. Don't you, baby? Yeah, she had a good birthday the other day. Thank you all who helped us celebrate. Holly, good to see you. Carol from Connecticut. You ready to get down already? Okay, I guess she's ready to get down. So, what are you guys doing this weekend? I haven't heard. I told you what I was doing, so let's hear what you're doing for this weekend. I like to know what's going on. Making cards, I hope. I'll be making some cards too. We have to make cards. I try to make, I think I usually make one a day. I don't skip too often. Not too often. So, I haven't heard what you're doing this weekend, so when I see something, I'll Carol Van Nest, good to see you. I haven't noticed you before. My phone is saying that you're watching. Welcome, Carol. Tina, your order came yesterday. Ooh, yes, how fun. How fun. Vicky from Arizona, good to see you. I bet it's hot over there in Arizona today because it's pretty warm here, and it's gonna, let's see, I think we're actually supposed to have some drizzles tomorrow night here, like they said, 1/10 of an inch. Yeah. Planning cards for a workshop tomorrow, Vicki. Good. Karen, buying and planting flowers. Ooh, that sounds fun. We make paper flowers, but it's even more fun to have the real ones. Good job. Linda, my granddaughter. Oh, her senior prom. How fun. Roz, hot and humid in the craft room. You'll be in the craft room. And Sunday, your son and crew are coming to play in the pool and forage through your pantry. Yes, I get it. I get it. Well, it's always good to see your kids and grandkids and stuff. How wonderful. Sounds like a fun weekend. We're all having a fun weekend and relaxing too. Let's relax. I want to relax. Well, today I have a fun project for you, but let's talk about a tiny bit of news first. The starter kit special. Vicky, 93 in Arizona. Yeah. The starter kit special is still going the whole month of May. It started on the 6th. Carol, there you are. Oh, okay. That's what's happening today. Hold on 1 minute. So the starter kit special, and the other day I made a mistake. I said it was $166 in product for $99, but I was wrong. I'm not that great with numbers. You guys totally know that. It's $165 worth of product of your choice for $99. And the reason the number 66 was in my mind is because that means you get $66 in free product. So after I finished, I thought, oh my gosh, it's $165 in product. But that's huge. That is so huge. $165 in product. That extra $66 is at least a bundle. I don't even know of a bundle that's over that. Maybe those new large letters or something, but most of the bundles you can get for that free amount. But anyway, $99 you pay for $165 in product of your choice. And I was thinking I might talk to you 1 minute about being a hobby demonstrator. I know quite a few of you on here are demonstrators, and some of you are hobby demonstrators. And what that means is that you don't necessarily pursue the business like I do. You just do it for fun and for the discount. Okay, so as soon as you get the starter kit, right after that, every order you place, you get 20% off retail. And that is huge. That's why I did it, really, is to get that discount, because I know I'm not a very big bargain shopper, but I know a lot of you are. But I do want to pay the least I can for the things I love. And I love Stampin' Up. And when I found out that I could get, hi Lori, when I found out that I could get 20% off everything I love and use, it's kind of a no-brainer. And on top of that, I wrote a little list because I was thinking in my mind, what are the things that I love about being a demonstrator? And if you wanted to be a hobby demonstrator, what would you love? Okay, the discount number 1. Ruth, good to see you. Inside, I put inside information. That's why I wrote on my checklist. And what that really means is you get to know stuff before regular customers know it, because we are demonstrators, because we get to know stuff early and order stuff early. I love that. I love getting to order early before like a catalog goes live to the public. The demonstrators get to order early, and I love that because that way you kind of get your choice of stuff. It's usually not on back order, sold out, whatever. It's most of the time it's just too much fun. That's all I've got to say. So if you love the product, you want a discount, you want some insider info, make friends, have fun. I have met some of my very closest friends through Stampin' Up. Louise, good to see you from New York. And you'll be surprised at the wonderful people that you'll meet. And if anyway, I just want you to take advantage of this wonderful, great deal. That part is fun. Yes, the discount is the fun part. Ruth says, Ruth is a demonstrator. She lives near me. And anyway, if you have ever thought about getting the starter kit, Now is the time to do it. There's really no obligation. Normally, we have to, Robin, good to see you. We have to sell or buy $300 in product every quarter. And if you don't do that, you just aren't a demonstrator anymore, but you've had the opportunity to do it and to get a lot of stuff that you wanted for a discount. And right now, because we're in the middle of a quarter, so right now is May. April, May, June is a quarter. So if you get the starter kit now, your first full quarter doesn't start until July, August, September. And then you have a pending month. So you get to take advantage of all the wonderful things of being a demonstrator until October. That's like 5 months, isn't it? May, June, July, August, September, October, 6 months, 5.5. And it's wonderful. So I would love to have you on my team of sweet stampers. If you have never ordered the starter kit, this is the time to do it. There's a link right there on my YouTube or Facebook. There's a link. It's prettypapercards.com/join. And it's easy. If you have any questions, email me, Peggy at prettypapercards.com. Okay, the one other thing, and then we're going to get to our project, is I've been talking about the tutorial bundle. I've 6 of my friends are demonstrators, and we've gotten together and we're producing video tutorials. And if you place an order from me of $50 before tax and shipping in my online store, I will send you all 7 video tutorials plus pictures plus PDFs for free. Or you can also buy it for $20, and there's a link up above for Facebook, down below for YouTube. It's wonderful. We focused this month, the month of May, we focused on the Cheers and Sips bundle. So you can see there the different cards. They're all different summer fun folds, and you get all the instructions, pictures, and 7 video tutorials. If you like video tutorials, this is the thing to get. So $20, or place an order in my online store for $50 or more. And I will send that to you free. I just sent a bunch out last night. So it's pretty fun to get all those. All right, I'm going to turn you down and we're going to see what we're doing today. I told you it was going to be a really great, yay, I finally bought that bundle in paper, says Ruth. Yes, the Cheers and Sips, it's beautiful. So today I had a lot of requests. And I have my catalog out because we can open it, and I want to show you what we're going to use. But Pam, good to see you. I didn't see you. And Kathy Green, good to see you. And Colleen. We are going to make the handmade envelope. Now, it's going to be different. We're going to do it different. But I've had some requests for the instructions, so we're going to do it today. And what I'm going to do is show you how to make the envelope. Then I'm going to stuff it with you. We'll stuff it with all the flowers. But you know how I like to show you things that you can use the idea, but you don't have to do it exactly. I mean, it's flattering to me if you want to do it exactly, and I love this myself. But I want to give you ideas to help you. Julie, good to see you. Let me check. Yes, Julie. And so I want to show you how to make your own envelope, number 1, without any envelope punch board or scoring board or anything. And then I'll show you how to stuff it up. And I also wanted to tell you, people were saying, well, is that a card? And Anna Maria, good to see you. It wasn't a card, okay? It was just like something beautiful because I loved it. But that got me thinking, we could make it into a card. So I did. And guess what? I just adhered a card on the back, and we're going to try to decorate ours a little bit today with the one we're going to make, and it's going to be somewhat different. But the cool thing is this helps the card, this helps the envelope to stand up to display it. Can you see that? So you can give it to someone and prop it up. Now you'd have to either hand it or put it in a larger envelope if you were, and we could put a sentiment on, we could say happy birthday. I've thought of that, but my main goal today is to show you how to make the envelope and how to stuff it with the flowers, and if you want, how to put the card on the back. So Cheryl, good to see you. So let's get started. And if you want to do it with me, you can. Just get a 12 by 12 piece of designer series paper and your paper trimmer, and we can do it together. And if you want to, thank you, Cheryl. So if you want to write down the measurements, then definitely get out a paper and pencil or something. And it does take a pencil and a ruler and a bone folder. Tracy, good to see you. So we have to open our paper trimmer. This is the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. And today we are going to make this out of, we're going to use the Kintsugi Designer Series paper because I haven't used it yet. Well, I used it on the one you just saw, but I haven't used it when we've been together. So I wanted to show you. We'll use this. But before we start, I do want to show you, I made a little sample of the envelope by itself. This is how it's going to turn out. So if you want to make your own envelopes for cards, and this is one that fits our cards, the A4, I think it's called, 5.5 by 4.25. Oh, storm warnings. Okay, woo. Be careful, Cheryl. So this is the envelope that you can make, and you could make this for all of your cards, and you could put an adhesive label on the back or front of the envelope, whatever you call that. So I just happen to fill it with flowers and have a lot of fun, but you can definitely make your own envelope. So I'm going to show you how. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use this side because I'm going to have to make a little pencil mark. So here's my measuring. And what we want for this size envelope, I don't have sizes for other envelopes, okay? I just have the one for this particular size envelope. This suite is so beautiful, yes. I'm sure you're gonna make gorgeous things with it, Miss Roz. Okay, so we wanna cut a square, 8.25 by 8.25. Now, you could use cardstock, I understand that. Hi, Polly. But it's stiffer and it doesn't come out as nice, my personal opinion. So I'm using designer series paper. So we want to cut a square 8.25 by 8.25. And we're going to save the other paper to decorate that card we're going to put on the back of the envelope. Okay, so there we go, 8.25 by 8.25. I'm just going to set my paper trimmer off to the side. Now what you want to do is put your paper at an angle. And I'll tell you why I chose this pattern, because when you put your paper at an angle, if the pattern is any way lined, like vertical or horizontal, for example, this one that I made as a sample, now the lines are going this way, okay? So I actually prefer to have a paper, to use a paper that doesn't have any lines really going any direction. This has a pretty swirly pattern, but I think it kind of turns out better if you don't have any lines going an odd direction. Okay, so now we're going to take out our ruler, and you're going to put this at an angle, and you're going to measure from one corner to the other. And I'll just tell you already, it's 11 3/4. And so what we need to do is put a little dot at the center, which is 5 7/8. I figured this out beforehand, so I think my numbers are right. So the thing is, you might want to pull it down just a hair bit from the actual corners so that when you put your dot, it's really in the center and not above the line going across. Okay, so we went 5 7/8, and it's right here. I have this spiffy ruler that tells me 5 7/8, and there's my little dot. Can you see that? Okay, now all you do is you pull each corner to the dot, just like this. Each side, left and right side, I guess is what I mean. and just fold down. And we're going to go ahead and use our bone folder to really burnish that line. And then we turn it around, or you don't have to, and do the exact same thing on the other side. Bring it to the center. And you want them to touch but not overlap, okay? And you can already see the envelope beginning to take shape. Now, what is it I need here? Yes. Okay, so here's the card we're going to use on the back. And I've already got it scored. It's 11 by 4 1/4. I've got it scored at 5 1/2. And what I'm going to do to help me, I'm going to slide this in, because this is we're not going to put it inside the envelope for our purposes here today, but I'm using it to measure. And we can see I want to get it up almost to the top here, okay, where those two corners come together. Let me pull that down just a little bit. And then you can see where the card ends down here. We're going to fold up to that measurement right there. And this is the easy way to do it without using a ruler. Well, actually, we can use a ruler, but I mean without measuring. You just put your ruler along the edge of the card and press this up like that. And I'm going to use my bone folder to kind of press it. So I'm kind of making a line there. It's like I'm making a score line. Okay, now we're going to take this out. We just used it for measuring. And you want to fold on that line, but the little trick is make sure that these sides match, okay? And they do. And we're going to go ahead and burnish that line. So can you already see there's our envelope? Now, if you want to fold it down, if you want to fold the top down, you would do the same thing and put your ruler right above the edge there and pull this up. Now, I'm not going to do that because we are making an envelope full of flowers, so we don't need to do that. Now, before I glue this down, I'm going to get my paper trimmer back. I don't want this to be up so high because we want to fill it with lots of flowers. So I'm just going to trim off. I'm going to put this against the side. I'm going to trim off about 1.5 inches of the pointed area, just like that. And there we have our envelope. Pretty spiffy, huh? And if you want to, you can round the corner of the top. Now, Stampin' Up! Doesn't currently have a corner rounder. This is one that I've kept that they sold years ago. And I'm just going to round that little top. I just think that looks kind of nicer. Okay, now all we need to do is adhere it along each side over here. So I'm going to just use my multi-purpose glue. And I'm just going to adhere, I'm just going to put a little line right along those sides and right up here. And there we go. There's our envelope. Let's go ahead and score again. Oops, a little glue came out there, didn't it? Okay. All gone. So there's our cute envelope. Look at that. No, it's not hard at all, Linda. It isn't. It's really easy. And listen, if I can do it and I'm number challenged, all you need to know is 8 1/4 squared, and then put it at, put it with a point at the top and put a dot in the center and fold into the center. That's it. And there's your envelope. So you can make as many envelopes as you want and put a label on the front. I was so surprised that I could actually do that. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, now what we're going to do is, in fact, I want to open my catalog and show you, in case you don't know. On page 59, this is page 59, this is the Kintsugi Inspiration Sweet Collection. And the only thing I'm using here is the Designer Series paper. And this is the piece. So I wanted to show you that. And then we're going to fill our envelope with flowers from the beautiful Gallery Sweet Collection. And I'm going to use this bundle completely, dies and stamps. And we're going to use just these 2 dies from the beautiful motifs, but mostly the Gallery Blooms. Okay, so that's what we're using, and that is on page 54 of the catalog. So I'll show you. Here's the sample. This is the one I made for a blog hop we did on Wednesday. So this is the basic envelope. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to adhere that card to the back. Arla, good to see you. So all we need to do is make our flowers. Now what I've done, and again, what I want to say to you is that you can do this any way I'm leaning down here to get all my flowers because I die cut a lot of them since it would take a while and it's lots of flowers. But you can do anything you want. I want to give you the tools. I want to give you the sample, and then you can fill it with anything, a card or lots of flowers. Okay, so I have gone ahead and I decided the colors I wanted that I thought matched this, and I've done all this die cutting. Okay, so we have all these flowers and we can play with these and leaves. We're going to play later. But to begin with, what we're going to do is these flowers, the ones that were the main flowers, were watercolored. And I want to show you how I did that. And again, I want to show you easy peasy, not complicated, very easy. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use Misty Moonlight ink, which now first we're going to stamp. Misty Moonlight is the color here in our envelope. And so I'm going to stamp 2 of these flowers. I don't know if we'll use them both, but we'll stamp them and then watercolor them and see what we think. Okay. We'll just put these like this. I mean, you can do a lot with this set. Okay, so we could just totally do a lot with this set. But anyway, I'm just saying, look at how cute that looks on corners. I'm thinking of a card right now. Okay, and then I also want to use Daffodil Delight, and then here is the beautiful large floral stamp. And we're just going to stamp that right here, like that. It's a little bit light. Okay, this is Fluid 100 watercolor paper. You know, I think I'm going to try it one more time. Let me turn it over because it's important to get the lines. Lemon squeezy. I want to be sure to get those lines. Okay, and I'll press down a little bit harder this time. The Fluid 100 watercolor paper is thick. I think that's a little bit better, but I can, we'll take care of it with our watercoloring. Okay, so let's start out with this flower, and in fact, let's go ahead and I don't know, I'm trying to decide which one is the best. I'm actually thinking this one right here is the best. Okay, we're going to die cut it in a minute after we do our watercoloring, but I'm just going to do this so that I can work with each one individually. So let's go ahead with the yellow, the Daffodil Delight. And here's what I do. I just push my pad. I'm telling you, this is easy peasy watercoloring. And when you push your pad like that, you get a blurb of ink in there. And I'm using these water painters. We don't sell them anymore, so you can probably find them in an art store or use just a paintbrush. A little paintbrush, and I want to start out light, and so I'm just gonna, again, super easy, got a little too much water going there, and just touch inside the petals. I mean, the stamp does all the work for you, really, because it has all the beautiful lines and shading. So all you need to do is just barely get in there. In fact, I'm even going to get a little color from my pad and just come in and really quick. I mean, this isn't even complicated at all. It's super quick. There are 3 roses here. So we're just going to, I think they're roses. And we're just going to lightly color like that. And let me go back here. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a darker color to give more shading. So let's use some, I don't know if I want to use Darling Duckling. I think I'm going to use a little crushed curry because I just want to give a little bit of shading. And there's just, look at that, just a tiny bit of ink here. We don't need a lot. And then you can just come in down at the bottom of each little petal and just do a little bit of shading, just like that. Not much, just a little. And you just want a little bit of a darker color. Now you could also use your Stampin' Blends. That is definitely something you could do. But I kind of like to do this. I kind of like to do a little watercoloring. And it's just easy. Look at how, I'm not even a pro, you guys. I just do this. Just like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just take a little Kleenex. I call it Kleenex, and just kind of wipe off my brush there. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with some soft sea foam, just to give some green here. We want a little bit of green for our leaves. We want to color our leaves. Put a little water, okay. We don't want too much water, but we're just going to color our little leaves right there. And you see how easy this is. I'm not even, I've never taken a watercolor class or anything. But all you do is just put this on here. It's just super, super easy. And then go back with a little bit of darker to do the shading. Just pick up a little ink there. Shading makes it look professional, even though you don't know what you're doing. That's what I've discovered. Just add a little darkness, okay? There you go. And I'm actually thinking we need to have something really darker in the center of those flowers because it's not showing up very much. So let me just ponder. Should we be as bold as to use a little Cajun craze? I'm just making this up as I go. Let's just add a little bit of Cajun craze just for some fun, and see if we can get the center of those flowers just kind of, I think that might just look okay right there in the center. And then you can just blot things too. See how easy that is? Super easy. I don't even know what I'm doing. But you just, like I said, kind of make it up. Okay, there's that flower. We'll set that to the side. That only took a second. Now we're going to go with the beautiful Misty Moonlight flowers. And again, there's our ink. And we're going to start out light, and we'll go back and darken them up a little bit. Look at that. We're just going to, look how quick that is. We're just coloring those in, just speedy. And it has such a pretty look. I just think it has a very pretty look. It's a softer look than the Stampin' Blends. I really like the look. Okay, there's one flower. Now we're just going to do the next flower. You can do this on basic white paper if you want to. You just can't brush it too many times. Once you brush the paper, you can't go back and play with it because it'll lift up the paper. I have watercolor on basic white, and you can do it if you don't have the Fluid 100. Just brush over with the water just one time, okay? Now we're just going to go in and do a little bit more shading right in like that. See how that brings that to life when you just add that little bit of shading in there right at the base of the petals. And I didn't do it on this one either. Let's go back and do it on this one. It looks like you know what you're doing when you don't, but you just add that little bit of shading, and there you go. Now we'll add some green leaves there. We'll see how that looks. And then we're just going to die cut these and we'll completely fill up our envelope. More soft seafoam. And you don't want to smear this too much because it'll pick up that blue. So we're just going to just lightly tap those leaves. Just a little bit. And you know, if you look at a watercolor artist, what you end up seeing is they're professionals, but they just kind of tap. You can tell they just, it looks like they're just kind of tapping things just like this. Just like that. Quick and easy. Okay. Now we're ready to just do a little die cutting of that. Let me get my little machine up, and we've got our Daffodil Delight, our Daffodil Delight flowers ready to go. Those are dry now. And so let me get the dies. This is part of the Gallery Blooms set. And here is the big die for this large flower. Okay. And I'm using my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're just gonna, I'm not gonna worry too much about the stem because I think the stem is gonna be hidden inside the envelope. So here's the one flower. I'll punch those little bits out in a minute. And then we'll do both of the blue ones because I like to have more instead of less. I'm that way about a lot of things. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking I might want an extra blue flower somewhere. So that's why I made two of them. One might work, but two might be better. Don't you kind of agree? Let's see if we can get that. Okay, there we go. I kind of like the blue the best. What do you guys think? Do you like the daffodil better or the, misty moonlight better? Maybe I just like this particular flower. I don't know. Okay, here's our second one. And I could have done that in advance, but I wanted you to really see the process. Okay, and I think that's really all the die cutting we need to do. And now we're going to quote stuff our envelope. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and punch those little bits out there. And when I start doing this, what I do is I like to do the edges and work to the inside, okay? In fact, I'm kind of thinking maybe we should go ahead and adhere this card on the back before we start going. So this is the card, 11 by 4 1/4, and if you want to do this, it sticks right on there like that. Now I see that this one, I don't know. I'm going to trim this off just a bit. What did I do with my paper trimmer? Oh, here it is. It looks like the card is just a little bit too long. So I'm going to cut it just a little over 1/4 of an inch off because we want to make sure that it will fit on the back. If you want to do this, okay, you don't have to, but this makes it into a nice, it makes it actually into a card that you can sign, and you can decorate this card to your little heart's content. I don't think I'm going to have time to decorate it today for you, but at least we'll have that adhered on there. And then, like I said in the beginning, it stands. So once you get all the flowers in, this helps your card, your envelope to stand up. Okay, now you have to be prepared to use some glue. And all I'm going to do is put little dots of glue. It doesn't take a lot. And just start going ahead and adhering things. Whoops. This one I might have to hold down a little bit more because it has that gold on it, those gold foil accents. And we're gonna, you have to be really careful with these because you see how it's so delicate in there. You have to be really, really careful. I've noticed that just almost without any, that can bend over a little bit. So I'm actually gonna put this one like this. And then, whoops, get back there. Okay. And I think I might tuck this one inside. So you just do this, make the flower, create the flowers and leaves that you want to create. Create your own card, your own envelope. Yes, blue and yellow look so pretty together. Okay, now one thing, this looks good if you put this coming down. I noticed that the other day, so I'm just going to put some little dots. I really like this leaf die, even though it's so delicate. It's really beautiful. And so let's just have that come down like that. I'm trying not to get the envelope adhered to the, I'm trying not to get the, I want to tuck things in there is what I'm trying to say. Okay. There we go. Now we can just start tucking some flowers, some of the yellow flowers. This is Lemon Lolly. This is one of the dies in that Gallery Bloom set. And you really don't want things to stick up too hot. What am I trying to say? I don't want to stick it down because I like my things to come up like that and just be loose. You see how that kind of sticks up a little bit to give it some dimension. Okay. So I've also got a petal pink flower just to add some different colors. So you just go in here and put some glue. And put your flowers on like this. I know this is okay to do because I'm going to put those blue flowers on right over this area. Okay, where's my yellow flower? I think I want to tuck it right in there. I think I'm going to use a few dimensionals. We want this to go ahead and stand up, and you see what I mean about the stem stays down inside the envelope, so we don't, I might even cut that off. Sometimes I cut off stems. But this is our focal point here. So we're just going to tuck that right in there like that. Isn't that pretty? It's already looking pretty good. Okay, and now we'll put the blue flowers on. We'll put one right here, and I'm going to use the dimensionals again. And this continues the focal point in the center of the card. And then we'll go back and add further we'll just add the other little die cut pieces. So we're going to put that just right in there. And I am glad I cut two of them. I think it looks better with two of the blue flowers. So I think we'll just, let's see. Let's just put that one upside down. Okay, looking good. Now we'll just add some more color. More is better. So what we can do here is, sorry, I'm just going to cut off this little part of this stem, and let's see, where do we want to tuck this? We might want to, let me ponder. We might just want to put it right inside there. Let's see if we can get it to work, go inside there. There we go. And then what I do is I just lift up and put some little glue dots. Or, no, sorry, dots of glue, not glue dots. And just gently tack that down. I think that'll stick there. And I've got some Flirty Flamingo to add another little color in here. So when you do this, if you do it a floral envelope of your own, just add lots of different colors. Make sure they all blend together. They coordinate. How many of you have our new color wheel? Thank you, Nancy. Good to see you. The Stampin' Up! Color wheel, I am going to do a video on that because I actually use it to see what colors go with. It keeps me from having to try and test because it shows me what colors look good together. So you see how we're just doing that? We're just tucking little things in, and now I've got some leaves. So these are soft seafoam leaves that I die cut. All of these dies are part of the beautiful Gallery Suite, the 2 bundles. I think I'll just put that one right in there. Let's see. So you just tuck little things in like that. What else do we want? I did want to have this in there. I think we might, we could make that double. Let's kind of do that. It really doesn't matter. It's very, very forgiving because the flowers are so beautiful. You can just tuck away. There you go. And if you want to, you can add a ribbon or some baker's twine. You can see on this one, I added a double bow of baker's twine over there. And I may go and do that a little bit later, but we've been running. I knew this would take a while because we did the watercoloring. And again, you could tuck a happy birthday sentiment in there any place. Isn't that beautiful? I actually kind of like it better than my other one because it's so bright. And the extra paper that you cut off from when we made the envelope will fit pretty closely right here. So I'm going to actually decorate that also later. And then we have our card that helps this stand up. So the person who receives your card can stand it up and display it. Isn't that cute? Well, that is how you make your own floral envelope. The biggest thing is just make the envelope, die cut a bunch of flowers, and tuck them in. And whether you watercolor or not, or you just stamp, it's going to be gorgeous. I promise. Okay, let's come back. Deborah, good to see you. I hope that maybe you try this for a special person. Too bad I didn't do it before Mother's Day because it would be a beautiful Mother's Day gift. I hadn't really thought of it before now. I just did it this past week. Oh, good, for your daughter's birthday. How beautiful. So you can watch this over if you forget the measurements and stuff for the envelope, but you do you. I want you to have fun with it. You don't have to do it the way I did it. And let me just show you. This is our, I'm trying to think, I think it's just called a color wheel. And you can get it in the online store. And I use this to help me with choosing the colors for my projects. So I'm going to do a video of that pretty soon. Okay, we need to announce our prize from last week. This is the card we made last Friday. We had a lot of fun with this. I really like this card. I feel like I want to make a bunch more. It was a lot of fun, and the paper is so beautiful. So the winner of this card is Beth Feldman. Beth, I haven't seen Beth on here. but I have her address. She's actually in my second level downline, and I am so happy to send this to her. So Beth, I'll be getting this out to you. And thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank all of you for watching. And if you are not if you don't have never purchased the Stampin' Up starter kit, and you're not a demonstrator, if you've never tried it out, I encourage you, just try it out. $99, you get $165 worth of product, and 20% off after that on all your orders. You will love it, and I would love to have you as part of my Sweet Stampers team. Email me, Peggy at prettypapercards.com, with any questions you have. So thank you guys so much. Robin, good to see you. My good friend Robin, my travel partner. Good to see you guys. And